So you can catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan scratch it. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it. Catch it, match it, stash it in the cabinet. Listen to the chorus while let Ivan. This is real hip hop, we aiming for a classic. And if we can't approach it, screw it, we'll attack it.
What you know about classic music?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Retro Wrestling Review Series. I'm here with
Chris.
And I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and today we're reviewing, unfortunately, Battleground 2013.
Unfortunately, he's right.
That's my pick, too, of all things. I picked this show, and I knew what I was getting myself into, and I still picked it anyway. So NXT is doing WWE NXT Battleground this year. They brought that pay-per-view back, and we needed to find a retro to do. It was either going to be an NXT special or a Battleground, and we're doing like S-rank pay-per-view retros at the moment. We recorded last night at the time you're seeing this video, Double or Nothing, and we recorded a TNA Unbreakable. We got to get a bad one in there to kind of like, break up the monotony a little bit and stuff. And let's be real, with Battlegrounds, as you know, Chris, there's not a lot of choices with Battlegrounds. There's no good Battleground. It doesn't exist. So I figured let's just do the first Battleground. Maybe the first one, we can kind of see where they went wrong and see if they learned the lessons the following years. They didn't learn them. They didn't learn them at all. But yeah, let's go through kind of what's been going on. So yeah, that's why I picked this show. There was a match on here that I wanted to go back and review again because it's that great. But other than that, yeah, there's really nothing to talk about here. So let's kind of talk about what the state of professional wrestling was. It was pretty bad at this time. WWE, I would still say it was pretty good. Obviously, they just started the Authority storyline with Daniel Bryan and Triple H and everything like that. And that was really white hot. It was like white hot for like the first couple of months or so. And it was still pretty white hot going into the show. It did kind of fizzle a little bit. But WWE was kind of making some bad decisions at this time. CM Punk was pretty much done with the company by this point. If you watch him on this show, you could just tell the dude does not care anymore, which we'll talk about later. They pretty much devalued most of their championships. They devalued the World Heavyweight Championship really bad to the point they unified it later in the year with the WWE Championship. The Intercontinental Champion couldn't buy a fucking win unless it was a title match. The United States Champion couldn't be bothered to defend his fucking title. The tag division was really red hot. It was, I would say, like, up until recently, during the Vince era, this was like the last greatness of the tag division. Was like that 2012, 20, I would say like 14 time was like the last time Vince actually like booked the tag division like it mattered. And yeah, but the biggest thing obviously was the Triple H storyline, when he turned heel with the Authority, and everyone really liked it. They also really didn't have John Cena. John Cena went out due to an injury at this time, so they didn't have the face of the company at the time. He was coming back fairly soon, but he had to basically rush his comeback right away because he was out due to the elbow injury. WWE wasn't in the best place at this time. I feel like it goes downhill really fast after this show happens. Like, this show ruins the Authority storyline for like probably up until WrestleMania 30, pretty much. Because the Authority storyline like started red hot, and then all of a sudden this show happens, and it like went to shit. But we'll talk about that. TNA was really bad at this time. To be honest, I honestly thought TNA was closing at this time.
It
If
was
you remember,
close.
yeah,
It was
like
very close.
Hulk Hogan had just left the company, and basically he basically ruined the company on his way out the best he could, and then to the point where there's theories that everyone thought Vince paid Hulk Hogan to go to destroy TNA, which considering what happened when he was there, I don't think anyone would doubt that.
Yeah, I watched during that time period. It was terrible.
Yeah, and then Dixie Carter had just turned heel like on TV, and it was just really bad. There was low attendance ratings. There was low attendance, sorry, figures, low ratings, and the biggest show of the year, they were like sticking together with sticky tape, pretty much. It was really bad at this time. They lost a lot of the big stars. AJ Styles was on his way out of the company. This is pretty
going
much
to that epic run with New Japan.
yeah, and then
eventually to WWE.
Kurt Angle was gone from TV because he had to go to rehab pretty much at this time.
A lot of press around like late 2010 to 2013, 14.
Yeah, and then all of the big stars were like getting released at this time too. Like it was just really bad for TNA. Like they were like close to going out of business. And then ROH and New Japan were doing pretty well. Obviously, they didn't have ROH obviously had the US expansion, but New Japan still didn't have the US expansion yet. But I think Bullet Club was about to start, or you had started at this time, which was good for New Japan, which honestly which transitioned really nicely because AJ Styles was about to come over there in a couple months, or a couple years actually.
Like a year. That's 2014. Yeah, May of 2013, Bullet Club started.
Yeah, so Bullet Club was catching fire. And ROH was doing really well at this time with their killer tag division and just killer main event scene and everything like that. So the wrestling industry in terms of the two big companies going on at that time were not all that good though. So which is a shame.
It's basically just WWE was kind of thriving a little bit, and New Japan and Ring of Honor were doing good, but like nothing. Like you said, like Impact was falling apart at the scene.
And again, too, I think it's
different network to different networks.
Yeah, and again, too, I think this is kind of like when this is the time of year when Vince would just phone it in because football season was always on, and he obviously wouldn't try as hard with the shows because he knew people were going to watch football anyways. And as we saw with the Triple H era last year, right when he took over, that was just a bunch of bullshit. He just basically used that as an excuse so that way he didn't have to put effort into booking a show.
I will say this about the competition with the NFL during September to February. It's tough to book against the NFL because people are going to watch football regardless, no matter who's playing on Monday Night Football. And all you have to do is to get those viewers to tune into Monday Night Raw. Just book a good show.
Yeah, but I would say like the WWE was doing pretty well, but this show really changes that. So, but let's go through talking about this pay-per-view. This pay-per-view took place in Buffalo, New York. The venue was the first Nigeria Nagodi. It's the Key Center now, though. So it's
it was the first Niagara Center.
Yeah, but now it's
right near, Niagara Falls. So
yeah,
like they stole that name from it.
And then the attendance was 11,700 people. The buy rate was pretty damn low. It was 114,000 buys. It's the second lowest buy rate pay-per-view pre-network. Obviously, the lowest one is December to Dismember. This one tops it because this pay-per-view, remember, wasn't. I'm pretty sure I'm trying to remember this. It wasn't even announced until like a month before the show happened. They just randomly added it to the pay-per-view schedule because it was meant to be Hell in a Cell, but then they randomly added Hell in a Cell, not Hell in a Cell, Battleground randomly out of nowhere just to the pay-per-view schedule. Like that was a big thing in the Vince era. He would just add pay-per-views to the schedule out of nowhere, like randomly. Like
just because he felt like it. Hey, we need another one.
Yeah, so that's basically what this show was. And you could, with what I'm about to talk about with the build up to the matches, you can tell that this show was added the last minute because they had to they came up with all these storylines that didn't even have much story in them.
They had like a month worth of storytelling. They had like months worth of storytelling to do in like less than a month.
Yeah, so it was like terrible. But yeah, so going through the show, the set for the show was fucking awful. It was like the original WWE set, but it was like a supercomputer thing. But it didn't even look like a computer. It was just terrible. Like they had like these big like LED like lights or whatever like around the set. It was a terrible set. It might be like the worst. This might be like one of the worst pay-per-view sets I've like ever seen in my life. Like this is terrible.
It was really, really bad.
Who put this set together? This was just awful. Like
it was just it's not aesthetically appeasing, that's for sure.
I hate it anytime they show the set and like even the graphic card looked even bad. Like when they were going through the pay-per-view, it was like it was on the super. Yeah, it was like you can just tell they had to throw the show together last minute. What a lazy show this is. The set was lazy. The pay-per-view like graphic match card graphic was freaking lazy. Just lazy. Like it was just
just awful.
And then going through we had a kickoff. This is when they started doing the kickoffs. They obviously did the kickoffs always to the pre-shows. They started them in 2012, but this is 2013. WrestleMania 29 was the first year they had the panel and everything like that. James and I talked about it in Survivor Series 2013 Retro. It was Vince trying to be sports-centric, but yet he spent most of his time trying to get away from sports. It didn't even make any sense. But this was a way for Vince to try to be sports-centric, was to do panels. On the panel was Josh Matthews, The Miz, Titus O'Neil, and Tensai. Isn't that a weird? Yeah, that's a weird panel. Because do you remember, like in the beginning stages of the panel, Vince would just have random superstars that wrestle in the roster every day just be on the panel.
Just wow.
It was just wow. It was so random. Like who was on?
I don't think Josh Matthews is in the company much longer after this.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. But yeah. Think about this, and this is like you're probably thinking the Miz isn't too bad here, right? He's got to be great. The Miz is great. This is babyface Miz, like right before he turns heel again in 2013. So he wasn't any good.
Yeah, Josh Matthews is there for another year.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, this is babyface Miz who doesn't really say anything interesting. This is Titus O'Neil, who was pretty decent, but he was And I thought Tensai was really good here. Like, this was kind of him breaking into the broadcast booth. I think, honestly, this is what gets him his commentary gig. Obviously, until he has to go be head coach, because they were going to need him.
Albert.
Yeah, so that was really cool.
They couldn't even let him use his real name during the fucking commentary era that he was in.
I know. And do you remember, too, at the time, too, he was tag teaming with, like, Brodus Clay as, like, Tons of Funk type of thing. He was here on the fucking panel out of character, pretty much. So he didn't even make any sense. Like, what are you doing?
Tensai.
Not Lord Tensai. Jason Albert.
Yep. And now he's using his real name and is a fucking trainer who is 7,000 times better than Bill DeMott ever could dream of being.
But yeah, going through we've done the career retrospectives on The Miz. You just did it on Tensai pretty much, and then you just did it on Josh Matthews pretty much. As for Titus O'Neil, this is when the big push for the prime time. Oh wait, we did Titus O'Neil before. Just go watch SummerSlam 2012. Never mind.
And Miz too. We've done The Miz already too.
The commentary team for both the kickoff and the main show was JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry the King Lawler. They were really bad. This was like the Vince era where like everything they fed into the ear. They didn't take anything seriously on the show. They didn't call any moves. They were really bad. They were really bad on this show.
There was a few times where they just stopped talking because they were laughing so much.
Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that.
Like the Santino match.
Yeah, but like they were really bad. I feel like I can't really say this is like one of the occasions too where like everyone was just equally as bad. No one was really worse than the other. Everybody was bad. This is an example of Vince commentary just having to micromanage everything. They, like I said, nothing on this show works except one match. Not even the commentary worked. They were just terrible. And let's also talk about the panel
too. Like for that production squad, those three were usually really good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like. I get the show was bad, but they didn't have a lot to sink their teeth into. But they were just They were just really bad. They would get worse later on. At least, remember, like on a match, they like took a selfie like doing a match. It was this year they did it too. Like it was, they were just really bad. They were really bad on this show. Like, let's also talk about the panel. By the way, I don't know if you probably didn't watch the Battleground kickoff, but the panel was like not even what the panel was like not even the panel. They would just have it set up like in the crowd, and it would be like just a random table that they would just all sit around and talk around too. It was just like, and this is before they worked out the format. The kickoffs were only like the panels were only like a half hour at the time. No, the kickoff itself was a half hour. So like the panel didn't even get to talk all that much because they had to do they did a kickoff match and then they did like video packages. Like, what are you having a panel for? They didn't even get they barely talked about anything on the show. It was just
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. So then they did remember the social media lounge, that crap shit thing.
Oh, that was awful.
They had the social media lounge segment part 1 where it was hosted by Renee Young. She kind of she told everyone to make sure you sent in your tweets in for the pay-per-view. Make sure you talk about it. Make sure you're watching the pay-per-view. She kind of goes through how to use Twitter and everything like that. Like every night, like people at this time didn't know how to use Twitter. I wonder if it was like Vince trying to explain it to like people through Renee Young type of thing, and he was just doing it like old man Vince type of thing, where he just couldn't understand it type of thing. I don't know. But there was a poll you could vote on because they were talking about because both Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella had Divas title. Sorry, not Divas title matches. Had title
both did.
had title matches on this show. And you could vote on who you thought the power couple was, the best power couple was in all of WWE. And here's who you could have voted for. Who was the best power couple in WWE history? Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, Edge and Lita, Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, and Ken Booker and Queen Shamel.
With them?
Huh?
Can I vote for none of them?
But do you want to hear what the results were when they broke them down later in the night?
Yes.
30% for Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, 42% for Edge and Lita, 23% for Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth, and 5% for Ken Booker and Queen Shamel. Isn't that hilarious? Because like only 2 of the couples are like around, are like still together. Well, I guess technically, well, no, because I was just say Savage and Elizabeth, but I forgot they broke up like long before they passed. So,
they were divorced.
Yeah,
or
so
divorced by the time they got quote unquote married on television.
Yeah, I mean, Edge and Lita won. I guess that makes sense, but it's like, how did they win over like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth? I guess I can understand them winning over Ken Booker and Queen Shamel just because they weren't really on together on screen all that much as Lita and Edge were, but it's like, how did they win over Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and Randy's? They weren't even together anymore by this point. So
yeah.
Like, how did they? This is definitely one of those occasions where I think WWE rigged the polling system. That doesn't even make sense how they would even win. And then Paul Heyman and Ryback get interviewed by the panel, and Paul Heyman talks.
Beautiful Ryback.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
We'll be talking about that later, yeah. But Paul Heyman says that his big, beautiful Ryback is going to absolutely destroy CM Punk tonight, and he makes sure that he's never seen in the wrestling business again. That's gonna that kind of did that sort of did happen for a while if you think about it.
That's very obvious.
Yeah,
because literally by January he had quit wrestling until 2021, I think it was.
And one of the reasons was because Ryback beat him up so bad. So then we had then we had the first match on the show. It was Dolph Ziggler versus Damian Sandow. At the time, Damian Sandow was the Money in the Bank contract holder for the World Heavyweight Championship, and this is when they changed the briefcase to like look like chocolate, pretty much. It was chocolate. Let's be real. That's what it looked like.
It was supposed to be like almost like a rusted metal or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, it wasn't that. So
it looked like a fucking piece of chocolate.
Because he had the contract stolen from him by Cody Rhodes, so he would handcuff it to like the wind side and stuff. It didn't even make sense that he did this anymore because that feud with Cody was like long over by this point. So what are you doing this for? But he comes out
after he turned on Cody.
Yeah, but yeah, so There was really no reason for the match itself. It was just a random match they added to the pay-per-view for no reason.
Vince McMahon.
Yeah, and Sandow. The big thing is they were teasing all show that, well, the all kickoff that Sandow was possibly going to cash in because the two competitors for the World Heavyweight Championship were going to compete in a Battleground Hardcore Rules match, and that's like a brutal match type of thing. So Sandow's going to have an easy way to cash in. So Sandow comes out. He cuts a promo here talking about how Abraham Lincoln once said that, I forget exactly what he says, but it's like he quotes Abraham Lincoln pretty much. And he said that he's going to have success tonight and that he's going to become the new World Heavyweight Champion, depending on what happens in this match. We had the match itself. Ziggler dominates the beginning portions of this matchup. He hits like 7 elbow drops in a row onto Sandow. And JBL says, those elbows look like they're painful. And Jerry Lawler then says, trust me, I would know. And obviously, Jerry Lawler made this as a funny line because that's what kind of causes heart attack. Like it was like almost like a year to the day that it happened. So, and then eventually Ziggler goes for an Irish whip in the corner. Sandow reverses it and he goes up over the turnbuckle. Sandow dominates the match for a while. He hits the Komito Akieta onto him, but Ziggler kicks out of it. Eventually, Ziggler mounts a comeback. And Sandow ends up hitting like the Edge-O-Matic, which we can call the Sandow-O-Matic, onto Ziggler, but Ziggler kicks out of it. And then he exposes the knee brace and he just starts driving knees into Ziggler's face and all that type of stuff. Then eventually he goes to jump out of the corner, but he ends up, his knee buckles and he ends up hurting his knee, which allows Ziggler to hit the Famouser, but Sandow kicks out. Then he goes for the You're Welcome, but Ziggler counters it and hits the zigzag on him for the win. And yeah, that was it. I give the match 2 stars. It was just a regular old kickoff match, really nothing special. And it did make this was Vince's favorite thing to do with the Money in the Bank contract holder. He would have them lose every match until the cash had happened, and it's like, yeah, then they wouldn't be. Then everyone would wonder why they're not over by the champ. By the time the champion's like, well, you just spent the whole month like he did this with Dolph Ziggler like a year before this. He lost every match before he cashed in. Yeah, this was 2 stars. It was kind of whatever. Sandow should not have lost this match. I know he ends up. Yeah, this just did not do any favors for Sandow. What did you think of this?
It was just there on the pre-show.
Yeah,
like you said, it didn't make any sense for like his booking of the Money in the Bank briefcase winners was putrid. Mm-hmm. They lose every match that they were ever in, and then he made it seem like they weren't special. And then all of a sudden, for months, dude, not even like, oh, they lost one time, they won this massive win streak, they looked really strong, and then they won the belt. It was like, they would get the shit kicked out of them for weeks in and weeks out, sometimes months.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would miraculously cash in and win.
Yeah.
Why the fuck am I going to take this guy seriously after he spent weeks and months getting his ass kicked by everyone?
You know, the real thing is, that's why Ziggler... He's gonna try to. That's why Ziggler's contract is so great, because he was booked like for crap for months, and everyone was like, I think everyone legitimately thought he was gonna lose his cash in because that's how badly he was booked. Like,
he was booked terrible.
Yeah, but yeah, this also talk about too. This is Dolph Ziggler at the time where his stock in the company just went down bad because he got the concussion when he was World Heavyweight Champion. And Vince obviously hated that, so he basically de-pushed Dolph Ziggler. Like it took him a while. It took Ziggler a while to recover from.
It took him. I mean, it wasn't much longer after this that he got his pushback, though.
Yeah. Then it showed the social media lounge again, where and we done Kuro Perspectives before on Sandow and Ziggler, so we don't need to do them again here. But yeah, they showed the social media lounge again, where Renee Young went over the results of the poll that they talked about. She talked about how excited everyone should be about Battleground, and then El Torito came in randomly and just started like hitting on her, but he was just making like a bunch of bowl noises and all that type of stuff. And she was wearing red, so obviously if you know bowls, they don't like that. So eventually he just leaves, and then she's like, I didn't expect to see that. Like it was like Renee Young knew that segment was bad, but had to obviously stay face. But yeah, that was just terrible. What did you think of that?
It was not particularly good.
This is when Los Matadores were like had like debuted into the company. if you know what I mean. So
Yeah, they
were like-
re-debuted.
yeah. El Torito, we're not going to do a career retrospective on him because I think we've done it before, so we don't need to do it again. So there you go. The show itself, we had the same people on commentary. It kicked off with the Battleground Hardcore Rules match for the World Heavyweight Championship. It was notable prick Alberto Del Rio defended against Rob Van Dam with Ricardo Rodriguez ringside. You're probably thinking,
announcer.
huh?
His personal ring announcer.
You're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Owen, you screwed up there. Wouldn't it be the other way around? Wouldn't Ricardo be in Alberto's corner? No, let's talk about why this is a thing. So
His fucking turned on him.
yeah, so Alberto Del Rio won the world title back at Payback, and he's been the world champ ever since. And LVD came back to the company at Money in the Bank, and him and Del Rio had a match on Raw where Del Rio lost the match because of Ricardo Rodriguez. And Del Rio turned on him, beat the crap out of him, and eventually he returned like a month later and aligned himself with Rob Van Dam. The LVD Ricardo Rodriguez pairing just didn't even make any sense. It didn't fit at all. And it was just really weird. But yeah, they had world title matches. Eventually they had a match at Night of Champions where Del Rio got himself disqualified. So a rematch was made for this show where it was going to be Battleground Hardcore Rules. And obviously RVD had the advantage in this match since he was a big ECW guy and everything like that. He would take out people with the Van Daminator and stuff. Or the Van Terminator, I forget exactly the move, but and he would use it as like a message. There's a segment on SmackDown where like he gave Del Rio like the destroyed trash can when he did the Van Daminator. And as like a message to Alberto Del Rio. And yeah, this feud was not really all that good. They really didn't have much of a feud. And LVD was just not being used very well at all at this time. And then yeah. And everyone hated Del Rio at this time. Not obviously everyone hates Del Rio now, but that's for different reasons. Like Del Rio got so bland real fast. Like they took away his ring announcer, they took away his entrance with the calls and everything like that. Like Del Rio just became the blandest world champion I think we had seen in a long time.
Extremely bland.
They even cut his theme song off if you remember. He just said it doesn't even have his intro anymore. He just comes.
No, it doesn't. It can't. It was the face version of the theme.
Yeah, so
still, I don't know why they didn't go back to the heel version of it.
Yeah, but yeah, Del Rio got bland like real fast in 2013. You ever would have believed this guy was a baby face like earlier in the year, like really over as a baby face too. So
they did the double switch.
Yeah, which made sense, but like then like they never put the belt back on Ziggler, so it was like, what are you doing? So but yeah, so going through the match. Del Rio starts off this match really aggressive. He attacks LVD, hits a snap suplex on him, but LVD kicks out of it. Eventually, he attacks LVD on the outside, but LVD fights back. He hits a missile drop kick to the outside. He grabs a steel chair, and he hits a springboard DDT to Del Rio onto the chair, but Del Rio kicks out of it, and LVD dominates Del Rio throughout the beginning portions of this matchup. Eventually Del Rio takes control and he hits him with a kendo stick and just destroys LVD with it. Eventually LVD mounts a little bit of a comeback. He hits a spinning dive onto the outside. He grabs a ladder and he destroys Del Rio with it, hits him in the ribs. He slams him onto the ladder and he does the split leg moonsault while Del Rio's on the ladder, which was cool, but it's not enough to get the pin. At one point, he goes for like some type of leapfrog or something in the corner, but Del Rio moves out of the way and his leg gets trapped into the ladder, and Del Rio tips the ladder over, and LVD falls and his legs caught in the ladder, so that was pretty brutal. And Del Rio hits a double stomp while the ladder's over LVD, but he doesn't get the win. Eventually Del Rio locks in the cross arm breaker onto LVD, and Ricardo Rodriguez runs in with a bucket and just beats up Del Rio, and this causes him to release the hold. And he's looking at Ricardo here, and Yeah, he's telling them that this is stupid. This distracts Del Rio long enough for RVD to hit a roll up on him, and then eventually Del Rio gets the advantage back. He throws RVD out of the ring, and he wants Ricardo to hand on the bucket, and he teases like he's going to, and Ricardo just starts wailing away at Del Rio, just destroying him with this bucket. I say destroying him, but he was just really hitting him. It was kind of funny because it didn't really look believable, but it was so funny. And then eventually Del Rio throws him into the barricade back first and then hits a super kick onto him. And yeah, that's basically the end of Ricardo. Everybody thought in this match that they were going to put Ricardo back with Del Rio, but that did not happen. He got his ass kicked in this match still. We never really got his comeuppance on Del Rio for turning on him. And then RVD attacks Del Rio. He hits a 5-star frog splash from the ring with the chair on the outside, and while there's a chair on Del Rio, but he's too late to get it back into the ring. He goes for the cover, and Del Rio kicks out. Then eventually, there's a chair in the corner, and I'm pretty sure RVD went for the Van Terminator because they use a trash can in this match where Del Rio lays him out repeatedly with a trash can. And he went for the Van Terminator with the chair. And I remember when this happened, everybody was chanting, "We want tables." They didn't get tables, they got chairs. And Jerry Lawler then...
They got a fucking... RVD pulled out a fucking chair to go for, like, I think the Van Terminator.
Yeah.
After they chanted, "We want tables," and they cheered for the chair.
And then Jerry Lawler says, well, they said they wanted chairs. They're getting chairs. And like, they didn't want chairs. They wanted tables. But yeah, he goes for the Van Terminator. He completely misses. Del Rio rolls out of the way, and it completely knocks out RVD. And then he sets up like he's going to do something with the chair, but RVD is able to fight back for a little bit. Del Rio hits a drop toe hold into the chair. RVD's arm gets trapped into the chair, and Del Rio just starts stomping away at it, and he locks in the cross arm breaker with the chair, and this causes RVD to have to tap out, and Del Rio retains the World Heavyweight Championship. They did make it known that Sandow's leg was injured, so he was possibly not going to be able to cash in, and then they did make it well known that look at how worn out Del Rio is.
They said 6 times that Sandow was hurt.
Yeah, and that he could have come out there and cashed in. I guarantee you, by the way, that Sandow still would have fucking lost, even if he was 100% with Del Rio being as weak as it was.
Yeah. He would have easily lost.
Yeah, but
even close.
also before the match, they did the ring introductions, and Lillian Garcia is the ring announcer for I think only the first match because Del Rio forces Lillian Garcia to announce him in Spanish. And I think that the rest of the night, it's just Justin Roberts that does the ring announce. So what a waste of time for Lillian Garcia. Catches a flight just to ring announce one fucking match. What a waste of time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Obviously, that doesn't translate well, seeing Del Rio force a woman to do something that they don't want to do. That doesn't translate well nowadays. So... I still thought the match was good, though. I give it like 3 stars. They tried to make it seem like this was like the most brutal hardcore match ever. That's not the fucking case. This is like the PG minimal hardcore match where they use all the typical weapons and all that type of stuff. So I give it like 3 stars. The World Heavyweight Championship was really uninteresting at this time. Like, there's a reason that belt went away after a while because it was basically the mid-card title for like SmackDown. What did you think of this match overall and everything like that?
It was good. I thought it was good, lots of action, but yeah, it was like PG hardcore match where it's like, okay, here's a chair.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the only thing we're gonna fucking use, and here comes, Ricardo Rodriguez hit Alberto with the bucket, but like other than that, like there was really no weaponry used.
Yeah, I don't understand that. We've done career retrospectives before on all these people, so we don't need to do them again. So there you go. The Real Americans got a promo backstage.
The not real Americans, you mean?
Yeah, because Cesaro.
This is Switzerland.
Yeah. But Zeb Coulter just basically trashes New York. He talks about how people are sneaking across the borders in New York. They're using the the Niagara Falls to do that. And he talks about how they're just known for their fried chicken and all that type of stuff. And he says that we're right here, we're real Americans, and we're going to stop people like Santino Marella and the Great Khali from sneaking across our borders and all that type of stuff. And just put an end to them pretty much. And that was it. This promo was really bad. It really wasn't good. It was terrible. What did you think?
Bizarre. He was Zeb Coulter was all over the place. And the fact that they threw Cesaro in this group, even though he's not American at all.
I know. I will say this.
Good tag team, though. Good tag team.
Just bad gimmick. Yeah. Because they didn't make the tag team work. So, then we had the next match. It was the Great Khali and Santino Marella with Hornswoggle inside versus the Real Americans with Zeb Coulter inside. What a barn burner this match is. You can see this.
Yeah. Let's go.
Want to know why this match was
got up and danced when fucking the Great Khali's music hit. Come on.
Well, I had just woken up, so I was too tired for that. So I did not get up.
I know I did. I got my ass up and boogied on down.
Remember, come on. Well, Khali's dance, if you ever realized, was just fucking Jeff Hardy's fucking taunt.
It was an immobile version of Jeff Hardy.
It was terrible. But yeah, you want to know why this match was happening, Chris? The big reason? It just happened. Vince just randomly added to the fucking show.
Because randomly Khali and Santino were a tag team.
They did try to make some sense out of it, where they said that Santino beat like the Real Americans in separate singles matches, but it's like, come on, there was no fucking storyline here. Don't even fucking try.
It wasn't. It was just they were thrown together in a match because they needed a story, because they had a pay-per-view in 2 weeks. So they needed to throw together this random matches together.
Yeah,
and this was Santino a reason for him to have a match on the pay-per-view, and they threw someone who was completely immobile in the match too. Also,
this was Vince's favorite thing, by the way, from like 2010 to like 2013. Just randomly add matches to the pay-per-view that did not make sense to be on fucking pay-per-view.
And add Khali to them too.
Yeah, this was his favorite thing in like it was like from 2010 to like 2013, like basically right before the network launch, pretty much. So, but yeah, so we had the match. Santino and Khali dominate the beginning portion of this matchup, which made Zeb Coulter very mad. He was not happy at all about this. And eventually, Santino pulls out the Cobra, which causes Swagger to have to back off. And Hornswoggle comes over there with another Cobra, and Swagger just grabs the freaking Cobra out of his, like, off his hand and completely tears it apart. It was really funny, actually. And then Cesaro nearly gets Cobra'd, and he gets attacked from behind by Swagger. They dominate him for a while. Eventually, he rips the Cobra off of Santino. And this is where the commentator just does not care, because Michael Cole legitimately says on commentary, the Cobra has just been whatever. He just doesn't even care. He doesn't even get through the line or anything like that. Like, their commentary for this match is just all over the place. It's really bad for this match. Like, they're just spending time talking about like Zeb Coulter's hatred of America, the Cobra, the Great Khali, what he's like when he's out partying all night. And they talked about like basically how Zeb Coulter was fat pretty much because he was talking about how Jerry the Kid Lawler kept talking about how he obviously has to love maples because he looks like he's been eating a lot of maple syrup. It was a lot of that on commentary, a lot of that. But yeah, Swagger and the Real Americans dominate Santino. Eventually, the Great Khali gets the hot tag, and he doesn't do much in the hot tag. He just kind of does his big, typical Khali move, clotheslines and all
just
that.
Lumbering around, not even a hot tag. There's nothing hot about it.
Yeah, nothing at all.
It was a lukewarm tag.
Yeah, I won't even call it a lukewarm tag. I would call it like a warm. I don't even know, but maybe just a warm
Cold
tag. Yeah. But anyhow, eventually, he hits the chop on Cesaro, and Swagger has to come in and break it up. And then eventually, Santino comes in. They get laid out on the outside. Khali chops him and everything like that. Santino hits a dive. Then eventually, Khali tries to go for a boot while he's in the corner, and Cesaro chop blocks his leg. He hits the big swing on Khali, and then he rolls him up and gets the win. The finish was awesome. Cesaro hitting the swing on Kali because it's
That
this
was
is
the
when
best part of the match.
Yeah, this is when Cesaro just started doing like the swing. Like he had done he had done it for a while, but this is the first time he like hit it on Kali, and it was really awesome that Cesaro was really getting over at this time. And they were really waiting for him to break out as a babyface. Because don't forget, by the way, this is after they fucked over Cesaro the first time, where like they de-pushed him for like months, and then they put him in this faction. And him and Swagger made this fucking tag team work. This tag team had no business being as good as it was, but with the talents of mainly Cesaro, it really worked. I give the match 2 stars just for the finish alone. What did you think?
I give it 1.5 stars just for the swing.
Yeah.
Because this sucked.
Yeah. This match still had no business being on a freaking pay-per-view. You could have done this on Raw.
None whatsoever.
We've done career retrospectives on all these guys before, so we don't need to do it again. Then we had the Suji G. Komen ad, where it showed various wrestlers talking about Suji G. Komen. It's always fucking weird watching these back with seeing CM Punk talk about it, because CM Punk's been very vocal about that over the past few years. So, yeah. Then we had the next match. It was an Intercontinental Championship match. It was Curtis Axel with Paul Heyman ringside defending the belt against R-Truth. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, this match has to have some story about it. It's for a championship. It only had a week of build. And you remember how you said they had a month to build that stuff? Vince decided that's just not to have a build up for this match until the week of the fucking show, the go home week. Pretty much what happened was Curtis Axel had won the belt at Payback. He was a pretty mediocre Intercontinental Champion. He had a match with R-Truth on Raw, the go home episode of Raw, where CM Punk's music plays, which distracted him, which allowed Truth to win. So this got him this Intercontinental Championship match. And that's basically it. That's basically the storyline here. The match, R-Truth starts off really aggressive, really dominates Curtis Axel throughout the beginning portions of this matchup. Yeah. The one thing that's funny is R-Truth says what's up during the match, and this is when the JBL would like respond back to him, and it'd be like the most cringiest thing ever. He would just go, "What's up?" Like it was just like, "What are you doing?"
He did it during the entrance too, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I forgot that he did that.
Yeah. And then eventually Curtis Axel throws R-Truth back first into the barricade, and then he throws him there again. Curtis Axel dominates the rest of the match for a while. Just kind of being mean to R-Truth, just really destroying him and stuff. Michael Cole talked about how R-Truth cut this apparently passionate promo on like WWE.com talking about how like he hadn't gotten a title match and he was really upset about it and stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, why the fuck didn't they show that on TV then if it was this real passionate promo? Like, what are you doing? Eventually, R-Truth mounts a comeback. He hits an axe kick onto Curtis Axel, but he kicks out of it. And then eventually he goes for the lie detector, but Curtis Axel counters it, and Axel slams Truth while he's on the turnbuckle, and he hits that weird neckbreaker face buster type move that he would hit. Because if he wasn't allowed to do the perfect press, apparently they gave him that finish. Kind of sucked, to be honest.
Yeah, I always good thing.
Yeah, and then Curtis Axel wins the match and retains the Intercontinental Championship. Fans could have cared less about this match. They chanted, "This is boring." JBL, Wallace at Paul Heyman since he was out there. This match is bad. It's not good at all. It's a style and a half. This match did not belong on the freaking pay-per-view. What did you think?
I give it a 1.5 stars too. This is like a house show match.
Yeah, it's not even a Raw match. Like,
and this is like around the time period where it was like Axel was treated like shit.
Yeah.
And if they had just went full bore with it and just pushed him, he could have been really good.
Yeah.
But instead, they decided to fuck around with him, and he looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like a year later, they came in Ryback where it's still a tag team, but Heyman was gone.
Yeah, not even you say a year later. He was gone. He was gone for more like a month later, actually. So
yeah, but like by like the next year, like into the next year, they were a tag team.
Yep.
and they weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
Heyman was long gone out of that group by then.
Mm-hmm. Now we've done career retrospectives before on these guys. We don't need to do them again. Next match was Brie Bella with Nikki Bella ringside versus AJ Lee, who was defending the Divas title with Tamina Snuka for the Divas Championship. Reason for this match is AJ Lee did a pipe bomb promo trashing the Total Divas cast. So basically, AJ Lee just ran through all of the Total Divas cast members. She defended the title in a 4-way match. And the logical choice, they looked like they were setting up, was they were going to set up Natalya versus AJ Lee, which is the match that everybody fucking wanted. But instead, they pivoted to Brie Bella instead.
Yeah, Bella, let's go.
Which it did make sense at the time because, you know, they were like the stars of Total Divas, in fairness. And she was linked with Daniel Bryan, who was getting a big push at this time. The big thing they talked about is that Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella had just gotten engaged at this time, which is really weird because I always get the timeline of it wrong because on Total Divas, they show it in like fucking March when like it already happened like months in advance. It was like, oh, really stupid. During this match, somebody had a sign in the crowd that said cancel Total Divas, which is hilarious.
They should have.
Yeah, they really should have. I mean, it did pay off for them in the long run. But like, yeah, the wrestling fans had to fucking suffer when Total Divas was on. It was miserable.
They even admitted it.
Yeah.
Like I think the Bellas admitted it like a year or so ago. They said, yeah, that was all staged.
I think the worst part about the Total Divas thing was they would do a storyline on Raw that happened on Total Divas, but Total Divas like taped months ago. It's like, why are you having a match Why are you having a match now? Like you should have had a month. Like you should have had a match.
They taped like months worth of like backstage interactions.
Yeah,
and then like they put it on months and months after the fucking show had already aired. Like they'll be doing like a WrestleMania episode, and WrestleMania was like 3 months ago. Like 3 months had already happened since they taped that.
I remember there was a thing where they teased they were gonna do like break up the Funkadactyls as like a tag team on an episode, but like the episode happened months ago and the Funkadactyls were still like teaming up like regularly on TV by the time that episode had aired. It's like, what do you?
Yeah, because they fought at like a go-kart place or whatever. It was some like weird fucking thing where they like got into like a screaming match with each other.
Yeah,
and then they both went their separate ways, and that's like how the show ended.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is stupid. I was like, thank God that didn't happen.
Yeah. But anyhow, going through this match, though, Brie Bella dominates the beginning portions of the matchup. She destroys AJ Lee. Eventually, AJ Lee takes over. She throws Brie Bella into the steps, and she just dominates the match for a while. There's at one point in the match where she gets like really upset that like Brie Bella kicked out of a move. And Michael Cole's like, oh, she's a firecracker. That's crazy. Like he didn't really sound like he wanted to say that, but like he said it anyways, type of thing. And then eventually Brie Bella mounts a comeback. She's on like the verge of winning the championship, and then like all of a sudden, like Tamina Snuka gets like Nikki Bella into like a chokehold, and this distracts Brie Bella long enough for her to get rolled up and lose. Wow, what a stupid finish that was.
A dumb finish.
And I feel like too, you knew Nikki Bella wasn't going to do shit in this match because she was in heels the whole match. Like, there's a bit where like Brie Bella tries to get to AJ Lee, but Tamina's in the way, and you're like, Nikki, you're right there. Do something about it. Do something. But yeah, she wasn't doing shit in this match. I feel like she was not ready to come to work today. But yeah, this match is bad. This match is like a star and a quarter. This match is terrible. This match is awful. What did you think?
I give it a star, and AJ didn't deserve any of this shit.
Yeah.
She was put into bad feud after 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 bad feud.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't she lose her title belt like not long close to after this?
She lost it to
Bella, right?
No, she lost it to Paige. This is the year-long title reign that she had for a while.
Okay, so yeah, I thought this is that's right. And then Nikki won later on and then dropped it to fucking Charlotte.
Yes, you're correct. We've done career retrospectives on everybody here, so we don't need to do them again.
I don't want to, especially for Brie Bella.
Yeah. Then the show gets awesome for like a half hour. Like this show rules right here. And I think this is why Cody Rhodes is a hero, because he fucking him and the Rhodes family and the Shield fucking saved this pay-per-view from being like the worst pay-per-view of all time. So let's go over the storyline, because there's an interview we need to talk about, but I feel like I need to go over the storyline first. So obviously the Authority, Triple H turned heel on Daniel Bryan, and he was the Authority were basically making the baby faces' lives miserable. And the biggest casualty, well, other than Daniel Bryan, was Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes had just turned babyface, and he connected pretty well as a babyface, but he needed that one thing that was going to really connect him as a babyface. And by the way, let's also talk about this. Imagine if Cody and Brandy don't get married at this time. Imagine how different Cody and Dustin's career would have been, because that honestly that causes all this stuff to happen that wouldn't have happened otherwise. But there was a match on Raw where Cody Rhodes was trying to give critiques to Triple H about how he thought he was running the company. So Triple H put Randy Orton in a match he put Cody Rhodes in a match with Randy Orton, and if he lost, he was going to get fired. He lost. And yeah, Cody Rhodes got fired. He cut this passionate promo backstage about how the Rhodes family had been treated unfairly for like years by the WWE, and he left. So then Goldust tried to step in the next week, and he tried to get Cody Rhodes' job back, but he failed, and then he got fired. And then they brought in Dusty Rhodes, and pretty much this was at the time where they were doing that storyline where the Big Show was forced to do the Authority's bidding, or else he was going to get fired, and he couldn't get fired because apparently he was broke. We'll talk about that later. But Big Show was forced to knock out Dusty Rhodes, or else the Shield were going to beat the shit out of him. And this was at the time where the Shield were working very closely with the Authority, which was kind of cool for the Shield to have, type of thing. They basically became the mercenaries for the Authority. Because I don't want to say I don't want to say they became like J&J Security, or like what was the name? What were Patterson and Briscoe? What was their name?
The Stooges.
The Stooges, because they definitely weren't fucking Stooges. They definitely weren't. So, they were more mercenaries. So the next week on Raw, Cody Rhodes and Goldust rushed the barricade and completely jumped the Shield. So this allowed Triple H to make a deal with the Rhodes family. They also added a bit of the storyline too, because the reason Dusty even gets knocked out to begin with is because he was allowed to bring back Cody or Goldust, but he chose none of them pretty much, which was a really good touch of the storyline that they had. But they basically make a deal where they're going to have this match here. It's going to be Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And if the Rhodes family win, they get their job back. But if they lose, they're all fired, because at the time Dusty Rhodes was the head trainer of NXT at this time. So he basically was going to get fired from that. And obviously they really sell this really well, that if Dusty Rhodes got fired from the head trainer of NXT, basically the future of the business is in jeopardy, because having a mind like Dusty down there will be really good for NXT. And this led to the angle with the Shield attack the Rhodes family and everything like that. So it was a hell of a storyline that they did on this show. It was probably the best well-told storyline of the entire show. And the Rhodes family have an interview backstage, and Dusty Rhodes talks about how they're fighting for families that are struggling right now, and they're fighting for all of those families that are struggling to get jobs. They're fighting for them. And Goldust talks about how his family has been treated really badly, and they never really had this bond before like they have now, and they're going to go out and prove it tonight. Cody Rhodes cuts this really good promo here where he talks about how he wishes that he had the talent of, like, he had the natural ability of Dustin. I think he said the charisma of Dustin and the natural wrestling ability of Goldust. And he talked about how what he does have is heart and passion for the wrestling business. And he talked about how he may not be may not be the most normal family. And then Goldust does the thing where he like bleeds on everybody. But he said, but we're going to go out there and we're going to get our jobs back. And it was just this really good promo that the Rhodes family cut. What do you think of this interview that the Rhodes family cut right here?
I loved it a lot. It was great.
And then we have the match. It's Rhodes and Jeopardy match. It's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns with Dean Ambrose ringside versus Cody Rhodes and Goldust with Dusty Rhodes ringside. And this match is poetic because I talked about the storyline in the match, but this is basically like the first like main event class that Dusty made. Because if you remember, Seth Rollins, when he won the vacant NXT championship, Dusty Rhodes raised Seth Rollins' hand as NXT champion. Even though Roman Reigns wasn't down there for long, Roman Reigns was made under the Dusty's watch. Even though Dean Ambrose never really showed up in NXT, he was in SCW, and Dusty Rhodes was a decent part of SCW, so he got to work with Dean Ambrose. So this is kind of like the first class of like the Dusty's kids that like Dusty has a angle with and everything like that.
Yeah.
The Rhodes family come out to Dusty's music, which was awesome, and we have to talk about it. The weirdest thing about the match is because they were doing the breast cancer thing. Fucking Goldust's attire, man. He was Goldust, but he had the pink gloves on, and it just looked very out of place. It just looked weird.
Yeah, it did look really weird.
I mean, I get they were doing this for breast cancer, but it's like, some people there's some gimmicks you can't change too much, and that Goldust was one of them. But yeah, we have the match. The Rhodes family start off by dominating the match throughout the beginning portion of it. They really take it to the Shield. They have this emotional storm. Eventually, the Shield get pissed about this, and they go up to attack Dusty, and the entire Rhodes family stand their ground and stand up against the Shield. And eventually, they continue dominating the match. Rollins and Reigns dominate Cody for a while. Rollins hits a flatliner to Cody right into the turnbuckle. Roman Reigns hits a really good pounce onto Cody. And they just dominate Cody for a while. Eventually, Cody hits a moonsault onto Seth Rollins, which was really cool. He hadn't fully perfected the moonsault yet, because I'm pretty sure I think he had done the moonsault before, but this is like the first time like he had been doing it regularly, like as a move type of thing. So eventually Goldust gets the hot tag, and he starts going off on Seth Rollins, and eventually he gets attacked on the outside by Rollins. He gets hit with the high knee, and he sends him to the outside, and behind the ref's back, Roman Reigns throws him into the barricade, and they tease a count out where the Rhodes are going to get counted out, but Goldust just manages to beat the 10 count. And Roman Reigns hits a really cool high-flying clothesline which is basically the big move that he does now with his comeback spot onto Goldust. And the Shield dominate Goldust for a while. Eventually, Goldust catches Seth Rollins with a scoop slam in midair, and Cody Rhodes gets the hot tag, and the place comes unglued when Cody Rhodes gets in there. He hits a muscle buster, which was awesome onto Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins kicks out of it. And then he hits the disaster kick, but Seth kicks out of that. Eventually, the Shield take back control. They hit the buckle bomb. Rollins hits the buckle bomb, but Goldust kicks out of it. And then eventually, Ambrose goes over, and him and Dusty Rhodes start jaw-jacking with each other. And eventually, Dusty Rhodes attacks Dean Ambrose, hits a bubonic elbow onto him. And then Goldust attacks Roman Reigns, sends him into the barricade. Rollins nearly steals the win with a roll-up, and Cody Rhodes counters it and immediately turns it into a crossroads, gets the victory, and the Rhodes family get their jobs back in WWE. And afterwards, there's a big celebration. They let the moment really play out. The rest of the locker room come out, various legends and superstars come out and celebrate with the Rhodes family, and it was just a great moment. This match is awesome. I give it 4.5 stars. It was just a great storyline and a great match. What did you think?
I loved it. This match was great. The whole story behind it was great. That crossroads at the end was nasty. And I liked the ending with all the legends and stuff coming out to celebrate with the Rhodes family. I loved it. It was awesome. Yeah.
And, this is very significant because this was basically Cody's breakout performance as like a big baby face. This should have been his moment as like a main eventer, obviously. But obviously that didn't work out. But the biggest thing that happened is we got the great tag run with Cody Rhodes and Goldust like right after this. They would win the belts from the Shield shortly after this, and they had that great tag run. And I still to this day say this is probably Goldust / Dustin Rhodes' best run he's ever had in the WWE. Was that tag run with Cody from like 2013 to like 2014. I would even say 20 up to 2015 too, because even though they had Cody change gimmick, they were still doing fairly well as a tag team. But this was like Goldust's best run. He was having the best matches, and I love the tag run always of Cody Rhodes and Goldust. What do you think of that?
I mean, I personally don't think it's his best run in WWE. I feel like that's where, in the Attitude Era, he was at his best as a solo competitor, winning the Intercontinental title, feuding with Val Venus and whatnot. And like 97, maybe 96.
What about Enwin Rise, best one of his career?
I would say it's still them, but that, even getting up in age as he was like in his 40s at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He had that great match against Randy on Raw to get Cody's job back. And then he followed that up with they had that great tag run. I love that tag run. I felt like I felt like it went way too short.
Yeah.
And they lost the fucking titles to the New Age Outlaws on the fucking pre-show.
Yeah, they should have.
Wow, that's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
I remember like watching that and I was like, are you fucking serious? Like they lost the titles on the fucking pre-show to the Old Age Outlaws? Are
yeah,
you fucking kidding me? I was like, this is a fucking sick joke. I was pissed.
Yeah, they should have gone to Mania as tag champs. Yeah,
like that was a fucking joke, and that basically killed their tag team run right there. Yeah,
it did.
Because then Cody was like, then they went on that losing streak, and then Cody was like, I hate myself, and then I'm gonna find a new tag team partner. Then he becomes fucking Stardust, which is just fucking Goldust with a different fucking colored paint on his face.
It is.
And they had a nice little run in the beginning, and then it completely fell apart.
Yeah, it did.
Completely fell apart.
And then
fucking went on to become a G.
He did. Very significant though. This is the last. I mean, I know Dusty showed up a few more times, but this is like his last big moment that he had in the business. It's really cool that the last person to take the bubonic elbow was freaking Dean Ambrose. That's pretty damn cool. Yeah, this match is just awesome. This is like the only real moment that like the Rhodes family have like together. I know like they came out and did the Hall of Fame thing together, but like in the ring, this is like the biggest moment I think they've had together. Was doing this match right now and everything.
Oh, it definitely is.
Just fantastic. And the Shield looked really good here. They didn't really lose anything by losing because because they just had all that, because Cody and Goldust had all that passion. It was time for the baby faces, because this was like when for a while the Authority that always stood tall, the heels always stood tall. So this was like a feel good moment right here. It was just awesome. Then we had the panel segment part 1 where they just kind of broke down what's happened on the pay-per-view so far, where they talked about the big moment, what's been the favorite part so far, and all that type of stuff. Tensai was choked up talking about the Cody Rhodes and Goldust match and everything like that. So, what do you think of that?
It was okay.
Yeah. Then Brad Matt, and again, we're not doing career retrospectives on Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Cody Rhodes, Goldust, and Dusty Rhodes, because we've done career retrospectives on them before. Actually, the only thing new we can say about Dusty, because I guess we haven't done a career retrospective on Dusty yet, is he would continue to be the head trainer for NXT. Basically, all the NXT talent from like 2013, from 2015 were all Dusty pretty much. And then he unfortunately passed away in 2015, and his legacy is still being met to this day with, they haven't done it in a while, but the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic at NXT, and obviously with bringing back War Games and all that type of stuff. So, and then then the show gets weird. So then Brad Maddox is backstage. We're back to bad again, by the way. That's like the one good thing that happens. Brad Maddox is backstage, and he's on the phone with clearly the Authority, more specifically Stephanie McMahon. And although obviously not happy with what just happened. So Vicky Guerrero comes in, and Brad Maddox tells him that the Authority had to leave during the fucking paper that they had to leave. But that didn't even make any sense. Like during the WWE and TNA love doing this with like there would be like this. They said they had like an emergency meeting. Like, why are you having an emergency meeting during a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Like, like TNA love doing that too. Do you remember like anytime Hulk Hogan and TNA like met with the executives of like TNA, it'd always be like doing the show. Like they couldn't do it any other time of the week. It was always doing Impact. Like
Always.
but yeah, they had an emergency meeting during the pay-per-view. We never even found out what the emergency meeting was about. They just say that that's what happened. I'm gonna guess in real life they really weren't there, so they just wanted a reason to say they weren't there because it was like, what's going on here? But basically, Brad Maddox is put in charge of the show, and Vicky Guerrero then laughs at him and said that this is on your hands if you don't get this right, and she just leaves. So yeah, this was not a good segment. What did you think of this?
It was not good.
I like too how they try to change the storyline later because then Michael Cole says, "Oh, it happened actually before the pay-per-view," but Brad Maddox clearly said they left during the pay-per-view. So it's like, well, what was it then? Did they have 2 emergency meetings out of nowhere? Like, what happened? Like,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
just
know.
said, fuck it.
Then we had the next match. It was Kofi Kingston versus Bray Wyatt with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan ringside. Want to know why this match was happening? Added the week of the Go Home show. Yay! Vince's favorite thing of this time. Just to add random matches to the show.
It don't make any sense.
Bray Wyatt like attacked Kofi. He never even attacked Kofi. He just had like an altercation with Kofi. And Vince just decided, you know what? That's good enough. We had a month to build the storyline. He didn't even, but I don't feel like doing it right now. This was kind of like a weird time because Bray Wyatt was really hard at this time. The Wyatt family act was really hard at this time. I think the problem was just Vince couldn't get him into any feuds because they were just so unique and so over that Vince didn't understand what was going on. So he's like, yeah, you guys can just have squash matches and you guys can just cut promos that don't really mean anything. And then if I find something for you, you can come wrestle. And then he's just like, oh, by the way, Kofi's not doing anything right now. I need to find something for him. I got to find something for you. Why don't you guys just go have a match? Like, just have a match at Battleground. People are paying $50 for it. I kind of screwed up here and didn't announce a full card. So why don't you guys just go have a match? That's basically what happened here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the match starts. Bray Wyatt's being really... the entrance of the Wyatt family is always awesome, by the way. I love the original Wyatt family entrance. It's always really good. The only thing I hate about the Wyatt family's act at this time is the commentary did not sell the fact that this was meant to be a scary act. They're fucking out there laughing and just chilling. Like, JBL's like... I don't even know. Like, this is just not... Like, again, commentary is just bad all whole show. Like, and then, we had the match. Bray Wyatt's playing mind games early in the match with Kofi. It's kind of throwing him off his game a little bit. Eventually, he gets crossed on the ropes, and Bray Wyatt hits a run and splash onto him. And Bray Wyatt just dominates Kofi Kingston for a very long time. Very long time. It's really long. It's to the point where the crowd just boos the match and chants for JBL, Jerry the Lawler, Michael, the typical stuff that they would have said at the time when they would boycott a match. Eventually, Kofi starts to mount a comeback, and he hits some really good comeback moves onto Bray Wyatt. He hits a really good DDT onto him, but Wyatt kicks out of it. He hits the boom drop, the SOS, and then eventually Kofi, is down on the ground, and Bray Wyatt, this is the first time he does it. He does the exorcism walk, which looked awesome at the time. It still does look pretty awesome, but obviously Bray Wyatt's gimmick was so bad that it really didn't look that cool anymore. And it didn't throw off his game enough because he's still able to get the advantage on Bray Wyatt and hit a suicide dive on him. Like, yeah, they really didn't throw him off his game all that much. So, and then eventually Kofi hits a crossbody on Wyatt. Wyatt kicks out. He goes for the SOS, but Wyatt turns it into a Sister Abigail. And he covers him and gets the win. And then afterwards, he grabs the mic. Well, first, Eric Rowan hits this really weird, like, backbreaker onto Kofi. Like, it didn't, like, you thought he was just going to drop him. You didn't even know what was going to happen. And then he turns that into like a big boot by Harper, and he cuts a promo talking about how the authority and the man's always trying to keep us down. And he said that one by one, he's going to take out all of those people involved in politics or something like that. And then I'm like, well, what'd you take out Kofi for? He's not into any of that shit. Like, what do you do? What are you doing? Why are you taking out poor Kofi? Like, it didn't even make any sense. This is like, this is like 2 3/4 stars. It's really a good Raw match, not a match that belonged on the pay-per-view. I think they just clearly wanted to get Bray Wyatt on the show because they didn't have anything for him to do, so it's just like whatever. But yeah, this is 2 3/4 stars. What did you think of this?
Give it the same. Like, it's just not a pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
It's just not a good pay-per-view match at all.
This is when Kofi, too, was stock in the company was, like, low. Like, this was probably the lowest his stock's ever been. Like, he was really bland at this time, too, by the way. Like,
oh, yeah.
This
is pre-New Day.
Yeah. Like a year before New Day, yeah. Yeah, so we've done career retrospective before on all these guys. We don't need to do it again. Next match was CM Punk versus Ryback with Paul Heyman. I'm gonna let you talk about the storyline reason and why this match was happening, because it's really funny, and I feel like I'm gonna give you the right to talk about it, because I think you've been kind of looking forward to talk about the behind the scenes, what led to this match happening.
Because Ryback is a fucking is a joke of a fucking wrestler, and he fucking pretty I think at this time he had pretty brutally beat up CM Punk.
Yeah, he did.
To the point where Punk didn't want to fight him anymore. He was done wrestling him because every fucking time he wrestled him, he hurt him.
Yeah.
Fucking Ryback has come out and said that didn't happen, and that he was very gentle and careful with Punk. Don't believe that for a second.
Yeah.
I don't fucking like CM Punk, but Jesus Christ, like, you fucking extremely rough.
I'm pretty sure this is like when they had that segment where he gorilla pressed him through the table. He was supposed to go like through the table or something. Yeah.
He almost missed the table completely. I think he clipped the edge of it.
Yeah.
And they did like a few other things. This is when he was a Paul Heyman guy, Ryback.
Mm-hmm.
He had just got the big beautiful Ryback got as Paul Heyman called him, because he proposed to him on stage like the week prior.
Not a marriage proposal though. To be a Paul Heyman guy though.
Like, be a Paul Heyman guy. He proposed to him on stage. Really fucking just weird. Like,
yeah,
this is just like the drizzling shits.
This is like,
dude.
Yeah, CM Punk, like, because obviously Heyman had turned on Punk, and this is when the CM Punk Paul Heyman feud like lost all of its steam pretty much, because they didn't have Brock anymore, because they couldn't really use Brock anymore, and they had to find a way to make it interesting still. So they just basically had Ryback join up with them too. Like, it was just, yeah, it wasn't very good.
Horrible.
This is kind of too. They kept dragging the storyline out because CM Punk wanted to get his hands on Paul Heyman. And you're thinking to yourself, wait, you beat the shit out of him at Night of Champions. Like, how much more do you want to do to the guy? You put him in a wheelchair at Night of Champions. Like,
he fucking beat him to a fucking pulp.
Yeah, but I guess that wasn't enough for him. So,
and like you said, they unnecessarily dragged it on. Like, it started like the year prior, and then they kind of forgot about it. And they brought it back again. It was like, and this time the roles were reversed.
Yeah. But yeah, going through, by the way, they both needed a win here, by the way, because CM Punk had like lost all of his pay-per-view matches pretty much at this point. And Ryback had not won a pay-per-view match, I think, since like Money in the Bank 2012. And it was a jobber match that he fucking won, of all things, too. So they both needed a win here. So how are they going to get the win? Let's talk about it. So we had the match. CM Punk is dominating Ryback in the beginning portion of this matchup, and Ryback just does not know what to do. He goes up and asks Heyman for advice, and he said, "Go beat him up. He's a bully. You hate bullies." This is at the time where Ryback went into the gimmick where he bullied people backstage, and then he randomly decided he didn't like bullies anymore. So that didn't really make sense. And then a month later, he just goes back to that gimmick any fucking ways. So it's like, what the hell are you doing?
He didn't like bullies. He wasn't a bully.
CM Punk though dominates the beginning portions of the matchup. He hits a suicide dive on Ryback. He throws him into the barricade. He throws him into the steps. Eventually, Ryback hits a backbreaker, and he just dominates Punk for a while. Hits some pretty decent power moves onto him. CM Punk mounts a comeback, and he's on the verge of winning when Paul Heyman gets on the mic and just talks about how he's the best in the world because he beat CM Punk. But right when Ryback gets the advantage, he just puts the mic down. At this point, Lawler said on commentary that he was just hoping he was going to say that he's leaving and never coming back. But Lawler did not get his wish.
At that point, we all wish that.
Yeah. JBL would not stop talking about defending Paul Heyman, about why he liked Paul Heyman. He was just basically being a heel, and Michael Cole and JBL had to keep like repeating the same things over and over again, and Lawler was just kind of there. Eventually, CM Punk managed to come back again, but then he gets hit with a power bomb when he goes off the top turnbuckle to do like a springboard crossbody, and then Ryback just dominates Punk. He's beating him up in the corner, and the ref's trying to pull him off, and Heyman's talking trash to him. Eventually, he pulls out a kendo stick, and the ref gets distracted by this, thinking that he's going to use the kendo stick. And behind the ref's back, CM Punk low blows Ryback and covers him and gets the win. And CM Punk beats Ryback just barely by an inch. And he has a perfect opportunity here, by the way, to go after Heyman. Ryback's completely laid out, and he doesn't fucking take it. That didn't make any sense. This match was bad. It was 1 star. You could tell CM Punk's passion for the fucking business was gone at this time. And he did not want to wrestle Ryback, like you said. So this match was just fucking awful. The worst match of the entire show. This match was terrible. What did you think?
This match sucked. It's just a fucking terrible show. Very fucking terrible show. Fucking terrible match. This match just sucked. Like you said, like this sucked the life out of CM Punk doing this. He was hurt. He's beat up. It's fucking. He was just done with WWE at this point. He was just like he was running on fucking fumes. This is October. He was gone by fucking January, and by then. By then it was like
Yeah,
you could tell. He just didn't give a shit anymore because he was so beat up. You could see the way he walked. His mannerisms were different.
Yeah.
At this point, he started developing the thing on his back.
Yeah, the staph infection. Yeah,
the staph infection on his fucking back. I don't think it was showing yet, but soon it would be showing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he just looked tired. He looked beat down. He just looked like defeated, and his passion, like you said, for the business was completely gone. It just he didn't look like the same human being that we had saw when he came back in for his match against Jericho at Payback. He looked like a totally different person.
Yeah. We've done career retrospectives before on these guys, so we don't need to do them again. It shows a please don't try this at home ad, so don't try this at home.
I'm gonna please try this at home.
Then it shows. Then the panel has another segment. They just talk. I'm pretty sure why this happened in real life is I'm pretty sure the right after the CM Punk Ryback match in the real time, the fucking pay-per-view went down. So they had to fucking scramble for time pretty much. Like the pay-per-view just shuts down like it completely. So yeah, that's not good. That just showed you the show was fucking cursed. But yeah, it's
a terrible show, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but yeah, the panel just talk. They talk about the matches and stuff. And Josh Matthews legit asked them, so has your mind changed at all about your picks for the WWE Championship match? Because they gave the picks on the kickoff show. And of course they didn't. Because who's going to change their mind? Like I like how like a few hours ago they're just like, oh yeah, does your mind change about the pay-per-view picks? And like who changes their mind that quickly? It's like, what the heck? I guess Vince does, but it's like, what are you doing there?
Booker T does.
Well, Jerry Lawler does. He can't decide if he wants to win.
That's my pick. That's my pick.
I bet he's already changed his Royal Rumble picks for next year's Royal Rumble like several times already.
Oh, definitely. He has, because he's already changed his pick already.
Yeah. Next match was for the vacant WWE Championship. It was Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. Obviously, we talked about this. Daniel Bryan had won the belt at at SummerSlam against John Cena. And then Triple H turned heel, became the Authority, and helped Randy Orton become the new WWE champion. And he said that the Authority's big thing was that they thought Daniel Bryan was not the face of WWE. He thought he was just a B+ player, and Randy Orton was the true face of WWE. And it led to a match at Night of Champions where Daniel Bryan won via fast count by Scott Armstrong, which was weird because it didn't really make sense. And it led to a big fit on Raw where Scott Armstrong said to Daniel Bryan, "They got us, Bryan." And Triple H then was like, "Wait, what did you just say?" Like that's legit how this happens. So be like, "Hey, what was that? Did you just say he got you?" He was like so concerned about it. He was like, "Wait, what was that?" It was like,
"Wait a minute, what are those words that you just spoke? What are those words?"
Yeah. So this caused Daniel Bryan to get vacated to become Triple H to vacate Daniel Bryan of the WWE Championship. So they never explained this, but I think how it was supposed to go was Triple H set up Scott Armstrong to do a fast count to make Daniel Bryan look bad. That doesn't even make any sense. Why wouldn't you do it the opposite way, where we have Scott Armstrong do the fast count on the heel, not the fucking bait? So that just kind of showed they had no faith in Randy Orton. That didn't even make any sense. This is kind of when the Authority storyline starts to jump the shark a little bit. So then Randy Orton got upset that he wasn't just granted the title back, and Stephanie McMahon challenged Randy Orton to find the old Viper Randy Orton, the person that didn't give a damn who he hurt. So Randy Orton started to find the old Viper. He would attack various wrestlers. You ever notice, by the way, they show the Miz in that video package. They show his mom all concerned and everything. They don't show his dad. They don't show his dad in that video package because his dad was laughing, if you remember.
George McShannon did not give a fuck that his son was getting the shit beat out of him. He was laughing his ass off.
So and then we found the old Randy Orton. This was at the time of the Authority were being like fake baby faces, where like they were randomly like happy that the baby faces have finally stood their ground and everything like that. Do you remember they randomly like put the Shield in like an 11-on-3 handicap match that didn't even make any sense? Like,
yeah, like randomest thing ever.
And then so then we had the match here. Let's talk about the match. Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan start off aggressively with each other in the match. They exchange rights and left hands and all that type of stuff. And then Daniel Bryan takes control early in the match. Eventually, Randy Orton gains control. He hits a neck breaker on Bryan, and he dominates Bryan for a while. He throws him into the steps. He throws him. He does the back suplex onto the barricade. Bryan would get little flurries mounted a comeback, but Randy Orton would continuously cut him off. Randy Orton does the Boston Crab in the match, which Daniel Bryan counters with a roll-up. And then Randy Orton hits a suplex from the apron on the outside on Bryan, which was cool. And then he hits the superplex on Bryan, but he kicks out of it. Bryan mounts a comeback. He hits a missile drop kick, hits like 3 yes kicks in the not yes kicks, but the run and drop kicks in the corner. He hits a suicide dive on Orton. He throws him back first into the barricade. He hits a really cool high crossbody splash onto the outside. And Bryan locks Orton into the yes lock. And then the Big Show comes out. The reason the Big Show's involved in this is because the Big Show, we found out was broke, so he basically had to do the Authority's bidding, or else he was going to get fired, and basically, he was going to be screwed. And this made no sense because this was at the time he had an ironclad contract by John Laurinaitis that he gave him, that he could do whatever the hell he wanted. And that contract, like, still wasn't in effect. They talked about that contract, too, in the storyline. So it doesn't even make sense. They clearly wanted Big Show in the storyline because he came back at this time and was like, really popular. So they wanted to get him in the storyline. But if anything, I think it hurt him more because he was not popular anymore by the time he was out of that storyline. But Big Show runs out. He knocks out the referee, John Cone. And Daniel Bryan's upset about this. Big Show knocks him out. And then Brad Maddox comes out with Scott Armstrong. And I think this was like the big reveal that Scott Armstrong was like it on this, which was kind of already known. And Randy Orton goes for the cover. Big Show pulls out Scott Armstrong, knocks him out, and Randy Orton's upset about this. He's kind of laughing at the Big Show, being like, "Oh, you're gonna get in trouble on Monday now." Ooh, and Randy Orton, that's legitimately what he says too. He goes. That's legitimately what he does. He starts shoving the Big Show. Big Show knocks him out. That's it. The show ends. The main event ends without a finish. You're thinking to yourselves, guys, probably like, how can there be a finish? There was never a bell ring or anything like that. Yeah. You can explain that to me, that it just ends. Big Show celebrates. The pay-per-view goes off the air. It's like the match was over at that point.
Didn't happen.
Yeah. The finish was terrible. I think a lot of people think that this is a bad match, I will say. But I actually disagree with that, because if you actually watch a match without the finish, it's actually like a good match. It's just that the finish really ruined the match. It's probably one of the worst. Huh?
It drags it down.
Yeah, I give it like 3 stars. Because I thought the match itself was still good enough. I feel like too, this was at the point where we were seeing like Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton wrestle in every match. Like they wrestled all the time around this time, and you were also sick of seeing them wrestle. They wrestled 4 pay-per-view matches in a row. The Money in the Bank cash-in, where everyone cashes in. Night of Champions, this match, and then they go on to wrestle again at Hell in a Cell later in the year. And don't forget, they were also wrestling for like months on Raw and stuff like that, and 6-man tag matches and things like that. I'm pretty sure they had that no DQ match where Daniel Bryan like got put over big by Orton. Like they were wrestling all the time at this point, so I think that's why also people don't like this match very much, because they didn't really do anything new in this match either. The stuff they did in this match was stuff they always did. It did kind of feel like they were phoning it in a little bit, because they knew they were just going to do another match anyways at Hell in a Cell, so it's kind of like whatever type of thing. And by the way, that new and aggressive Randy Orton, by the way, that didn't exist in this match. He was not aggressive at all during this match.
Nope, he wasn't. Same old Randy Orton.
Yeah. But yeah, I give the match like 3 stars. I still thought it was good enough. You can't really give a Daniel Bryan match less than a 3 stars. I feel like that's just weird. But yeah, the finish to the main event sucked. This probably is like one of the worst main event like finishes of all time, because it doesn't even have a finish. It's not the worst. That would be a retro someday. It's not the worst, but yeah. What did you think of the WWE Championship main event?
2.5, because it's not gonna get 3 for me because of the finish. The finish on a fucking pay-per-view ends in a fucking no contest, basically, in the main event.
Yeah.
Never a fan of those, and that's the reason why. I just don't like it.
This is at the time, too. This is pre-network, so people were paying like $50 just for a main event to have
for
a finish.
Non-finish.
And Vince was known for doing this, by the way, too.
The non-finish.
Yeah. It just didn't even make any sense. They were clearly trying to drag out the storyline.
Thank you for paying.
Yeah. That's basically
money in my pockets.
Yep. They didn't tie him up too much because, like I said before, that's the second worst buy rated paper. The event received the worst buy rate ever. The second worst behind the ECW One Night Stand. This show is. Let's just grade the show. This show is fucking trash. I'm giving this a D, mainly because of the Cody Rhodes, the Rhodes family match really saves this show from being like a D, from being like FD minus. That Rhodes family match is so good. I think D is the fair grade. What do you think?
I give it a D too. The Rhodes and Shield match saved the show from being, for me, unranked, because it is the worst fucking show I've ever seen in my life.
But don't forget Battleground 2017 though is on here. That is on there too. So.
Yeah, it's fucking awful. Battleground is a shitty pay-per-view. I hope NXT can resurrect it and save it from being a complete shit show of a show. But yeah, this is fucking awful. This is like
yeah.
Like, well, you have Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton, which on paper is a fantastic match, and they somehow found a way to completely fuck it up. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they did. And no, it's none of these fucking matches made any sense at all. They all fucking were trash.
Except the one match.
No one wanted to see that to begin with.
Yeah. Like, Yeah, you could tell, like, you know what the funny thing is? TNA Bound for Glory, I think, happened a few days later. And that was like TNA's worst period. Somehow that fucking show was better than this show. How does that happen? That was TNA's bad
That was
period.
awful. You're paying $50 to watch a fucking non-finish.
That's
I'd be
awful.
fucking pissed.
Yeah. This show.
$50 to line Vince's pockets, and he gave me this shit show.
And it was always Battleground he fucked up every year too. He could not get Battleground right. I don't know why. Like,
Just horrific booking.
yeah, I think there's only one good Battleground, and that's the 2016 one. But even that shows it's even like passable. At least this show isn't so bad that they had to stop doing the show for a few years. That's Battleground 2017 right there. That Battleground is so bad. We hadn't seen a Battleground since this year. Like,
It was Randy Jinder Punjab.
if you had to say though, if you had to pick one, what Battleground is worse, 2017 or 20? Because they're both pretty damn bad. 2017 or 2013?
Oh man.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
Damn, I couldn't even like.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy.
So fucking terrible. I think I would honestly take 2013.
Yeah.
Because at least I can get some enjoyment out of 2017.
Oh, you say 2013's worse.
Yeah. By a margin.
You know what the funny thing is? There is one good thing about 2017 that because of 2017 we didn't get Battleground anymore. 2013 started that trend. 2017's Battleground so bad we didn't get any more Battlegrounds.
2017 at least had that fucking great opener with the tag match with the New Day versus the Usos.
Yeah.
But also that stupid finish between Kevin Owens and AJ.
Yeah.
And they had Cena and Rusev with Cena. That was a fucking prolonged 21-minute squash match by Cena.
Yeah,
and then randomly, I forgot this is a thing. Sami Zayn defeating Mike Kanellis. And by the way, the co-main event.
It was the co-main
for the main event.
And isn't that match like less than 5 minutes too? The Sami Zayn
7 minutes and 15 seconds.
I remember too, like it didn't even make like they blew the wad too and gave the match away on SmackDown for like no reason too. Like
it fucking Shinsuke versus Corbin, you had Natalia versus Becky versus Lana versus Tamina.
You know that women's match doesn't sound bad, but when you watch the match, it's fucking bad. It's
yes. And then that main event. We've definitely talked about that where Randy Orton literally is the stupidest, dumbest.
Yeah, but do you notice, by the way, both Battlegrounds that are really bad? Randy Orton was in both fucking main events. Randy Orton was in both main events of these.
Awful. Dumb babyface Randy Orton and dumb heel Randy Orton.
I know.
Dumb babyface Randy Orton is dumb and stupid and idiotic.
You know what the funny thing is too? We talked about it.
So much.
We talked about it too. I remember Jinder Mahal had this wild grand plan that he was going to do to, Randy Orton and stuff too, right? I think that's funny, right? And he didn't even need to do any of those plans because Randy Orton was a dumb babyface the whole fucking match. Like,
can you believe that he, with 10 seconds left, decided to do his stupid taunt, the Punjabi prison, and then it closed on him after Jinder got out, and then he had to climb over the top. And by the time he climbed up to the top, he was already at the same height at the top of the other cage, and he could just climbed over and won. Instead, he jumps back down and decides to beat the shit out of all of them. And then he climbs back up again, and then gets halfway up and stops as the immovable object. The Great Khali decides that he wants to saunter on down to the ring and have a 65-year entrance. And by the time he gets down there, Randy's going to have gotten up the fucking prison, down the other side, left the arena, got in his car, and gone to the next town before Khali even got to the fucking ring.
I know. It's so bad.
That match sucked donkey dick. But that match itself in that pay-per-view is better than 2013. 2013 is fucking garbage because at least, even though that match is the shittiest match I've ever seen in my entire life, it's probably one of the most hated matches I've ever had in my life. In watching wrestling, it's probably my least favorite. Above that is the Red Hell in a Cell with Seth and Bray Wyatt.
right above it. But that match is the worst I've ever seen. And it is better than that Battleground entire pay-per-view.
Yeah. Hold on. We are doing plugs.
And I hate that match. And it's better than that main event. Can't believe I'm saying that. It's better than that main event. And it's the worst match I've ever seen in my life, and it is my least favorite match of all time. I can't hear you anymore. You've gone quiet. But
What about now?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm going to read you word for word what it says.
It was just for like a 30-second period. I couldn't hear it.
I'm going to read you word for word what it says about the reception on Wikipedia for this show.
For Battleground 13?
Yeah. Battleground received negative responses. Mike Johnson, a PW insider, said that WWE failed that night and really owes their audience an apology. James Cadwell of Pro Wrestling Torch said the Intercontinental Championship match and Punk Ryback were house show level at a fucking pay-per-view.
Because it was.
And he continued, WWE had to put the feel-good Rhodes family victory on the pay-per-view to throw viewers a bone, but ended a title match for the vacant WWE title without a finish and putting the spotlight on Big Show isn't going to build a lot of goodwill with the audience that is checking out of wall right now. Overall, the main event was a notch or two below last month's offering. They just never moved into second gear, which is fair. The event was voted by the Wrestling Observer newsletter as the worst major wrestling show of 2013. Now, I know you don't love the Wrestling Observer year-end awards and stuff, but you have to agree with them on that one. That probably has.
I 100% agree with Dave and his audience and that because that fucking show was brutal to get through. It was brutal to get through. Now, of course, the network wasn't around, so I didn't watch the pay-per-view live back then because my parents didn't buy pay-per-views ever. They stopped buying pay-per-views in like 2004. I think WrestleMania 20 was the last pay-per-view I had before. I think it was Payback the following year. It was, because the first pay-per-view I watched on the network was The Shield versus Evolution at Payback 2014.
Mm-hmm.
When the next night when Seth Rollins broke my fucking heart into a million pieces and shattered it by breaking up the greatest stable in the history of professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, they were broken up shortly after this. So
they were broken. Well, first they had their face run.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I want to talk about how dumb the storyline is with a Shield around this time period. The biggest thing was they were the Hounds of Justice and they fought against injustice when the Authority was the biggest injustice in WWE.
That's fair.
That made no sense why they were even a part of the Authority because they were against injustice, but yet the biggest injustice was happening right in front of their eyes with Daniel Bryan, and they just that's not an injustice. I was like, that was so stupid.
Triple H was paying them money, I guess.
I was like, that's the dumbest thing ever. And they finally, because they realized that the fucking Shield were the most popular thing in wrestling at the time, everyone fucking loved the Shield. By the time late 2013 rolled around, they were fucking getting massive cheers.
They were.
And I think they had the match against the Wyatts when they were still heels, but they were more tweeners than heels, and then they turned on Kane.
Yeah,
and
that was like the
pledge.
Yeah,
but then they had their little cracks in the Shield thing, and then they got it patched back together, and then Seth Rollins killed it.
Yeah, he did. It's a shame. But anyhow, let's do some plugs and promotion. I don't know what you can really plug because typically you try to plug watch this tonight, watch that tonight, but you don't even know when this is going to get released, so I don't know what you're going to plug.
I mean, to be fair, it's going to be released during the week you're out in North Carolina, so there's that. Well, 2 weeks, however long it is.
Okay, so
there you go.
Whatever it is that this is getting uploaded, whatever year this is going to get uploaded, and it could be uploaded 40 years from now. Who knows?
No, I doubt it. I very much doubt that it'll be 40 years. A week tops.
Whatever it is, whatever you're watching, whether it's SmackDown or Raw or NXT, just fucking watch it. Who gives a shit? Enjoy it. Enjoy it, people. It's wrestling. Watch it. It's not Battleground 2013, that's for sure. This show sucks donkey dick. Enjoy 2023 wrestling where you have it on all fucking facets of the world. Just enjoy it.
Every bit of the world is better than Battleground 2013.
It really is, because the show fucking sucks.
Yeah. Again, check out my channel for content for all the retros and stuff that are going to be coming up, and obviously check out WWE Aftershock, AEW Spark, all that stuff. Just check out all that great stuff. And since it's being recorded in the past, the bad past at the moment, we will talk to you guys in the future. So there you go.
We doing all the classics, you heard it, then I grabbed it. Flow like Method Man, then run like I'm Rabbit. Soon as I hear the bass line, it be my FaceTime. Music's in my veins, so just in case I'm without my iPod or a media player, I'll check my